everyone. Welcome back to As Told by Zink with your host, Samantha. I'm in the studio with Joline and Celine. How are you guys?
Hi. Thank you so much for having us.
I totally didn't forget your names, by the way. I was just kind of, you were like looking at me like wrong person.
We do that. It's eerie. It creeps people out.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you were like, oh my
we
gosh,
will
wrong
answer
person.
to either name, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
How was your weekend? How was your start of your week?
Everything is going great. We're excited for Euro summer soon.
Oh my,
just getting
okay,
ready
I'm
to
jealous.
travel.
Yes. Where are you guys going?
Like south of France and Italy.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
I love that. I am like in seasonal depression. I don't know if it's like hit you guys.
It hits me in the morning until the sun comes out.
Yeah.
Sun creeps in at like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. And I feel like it's way too late because you're halfway through your day.
And your mood is already kind of set.
Yes.
Yeah, I've just been like so like tired.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
overcast.
but then I came
you're
outside.
supposed to wake up with the sun. So
Yeah.
if you
Is
don't
that
see
what
the
it-
sun,
yeah,
I don't think
and-
you fully wake up until you see the sun.
It's crazy. And everyone that I know on the East Coast is like, oh my gosh, it's so hot outside. It's so nice. I'm like,
What about us? We're Southern
I'm like,
California.
it is still winter here. I'm so pale.
We've
like,
had so many long winters also in LA. It's been like
I
3
hate
years
it.
of like long winters.
It's making
Very
me,
cold.
yeah. I'm
very
like
lame.
second guessing my choice to live here. But yeah, European summer is going to be so fun. Are you guys going together?
Yes, and our parents and my
Okay, a
husband.
family,
Yeah, family fair.
situation.
Yes.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah, we're
So
excited.
you guys are sisters, obviously. You own a brand together, which we're definitely going to touch on. Very exciting stuff.
Can't
Are you
wait.
guys just super, super close?
We're so lucky. We
Yeah.
definitely put our relationship above all and just feel like so thankful to have each other that we just remember that like blessing every day and don't let anything get in the way of it, which will always like kind of preach to friends with sisters who won't take advantage of a built-in best friend.
Yeah.
So,
it's,
yeah, we
it's such
really
a
just-
luxury. And it's really such a blessing when you think about it. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, even we're working all day together, we work weekends and events and nights and everything. It always just goes back to like, we're so lucky to just be sisters
Yeah.
on top of working together. And that's, it keeps us going.
And like a trustworthy
gratitude.
co-founder, like a business partner, you get so close with. It's such an
Yeah.
intimate relationship that we feel so lucky that it can be us two and it didn't have to be someone else. Because I also do think that like entrepreneurs should have, a co-founder. It's always good to have a partner in your business and you bring different skills to the table.
I
So
agree.
we're
Or
lucky
right
that we get to
hand.
use each other.
Yeah, we're really
to fill
lucky.
that role.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's amazing. But okay, so what I've realized in my business, if I become close with somebody, and you guys honestly can't get more close, right?
Yeah.
Boundaries are crossed, and like you aren't afraid to
Exactly.
like put someone in their place.
No, but that's what I
course.
mean. It's like so intimate.
Do you guys think
and
that's a
personal.
positive thing?
I think for
Yes.
sure boundaries are
Yeah.
necessary in any close
Yeah,
relationship.
I agree.
No. I mean, do you guys like like one of you guys wouldn't be afraid to be like,
Oh, we'll speak up.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Definitely
you
use
think
our
that's like the
voices.
positive of being so
Yes.
close in
Yes.
business?
Yes.
Because when you
Okay.
think about it, any relationship in your life, a friendship, a relationship, your boss, your colleague, anyone in a classmate, doesn't matter. You're always setting boundaries and kind of putting a foot forward with a foundation of what you want your relationship to be. So we're just so used to it. It's just, it's like just everything, what you do with
the
everyone,
norm.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I was
the
like, do you
norm.
guys ever feel like you need like sisters therapy, communication skills?
Yeah, we're always improving. We'll
Yeah.
always like use like experiences, past, issues or whatever.
Yeah.
As like in any close relationship. We really treat it like it would be like a close relationship, like almost romantic. Like I use like my relationship with my husband, like what I learned there and I can bring it to the table with me and my sister and like vice versa.
Yeah, so true. I'm always with my boyfriend. I'm like learning communication skills
Yeah,
every day.
exactly.
Because I just kind of go 0 to 100 if I'm mad, and I realize that I need to speak, more slow and calmly and understanding.
100%, yes.
I had
And
to
you
learn
have
that
to
too.
And you always have to speak in a way, you have to speak intentionally also. So my
Yeah.
sister and I, anytime we have a situation, we will make a lot of work decisions that can stress us out, just like big decisions or things that are on brand or off brand. And as you're scaling a clothing brand and you're trying to stay like at the forefront of fashion, but you're trying to make the right business decisions and stuff like that. So we will always be intentional with our word and we'll always like put our best foot forward with everything that we say. And we're really aware of like how the other person will perceive believe, what we will say and do. But that also comes with time because we spend so much time together outside of work that we know each other's personalities so well. So it actually helps our work relationship so much too.
Yeah, you guys already know how to speak to each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's get into it. You guys own a lingerie line.
Yes.
Beverly Hills Lingerie, easy enough, right? Are you guys from LA?
Yeah, born and raised.
Yes,
Okay,
we
so
are.
it makes sense. You guys how did you come up with the name?
Such a good question. Actually, we started with the name, which is so funny. We
the
like
name
worked
was the reason we
backwards.
started. Yes.
Yeah, the name was available. We got so lucky, and we are like, we should do something with this. I was like pre-med at the time.
Yeah.
I'll just get right into the story. I was literally pre-med at the time at USC. My sister had just graduated with an emphasis in entrepreneurship, and was looking for something. Sorry, I'm sharing your part of the story now. Was looking for something to
Take it
start.
away.
Was looking to be your own boss, to be an entrepreneur, and we found this available, and we're like, let's do it. Beverly Hills Lingerie, that sounds amazing. It seems like it's been around forever. It'll definitely catch the eyes and ears of like global shoppers. They like that, something that comes from Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
So
It was almost
we
like
worked
social
backwards.
proof check.
Wait, so how did you guys find it? The name?
Like on one of those website purchases.
That's
Selling, like,
domain sell.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's
that
just
is
so interesting.
I mean,
And
I think that makes your story insanely cool. That you're like, whoa, look at this name. Let's start a line.
Business idea. We never a lot of people like grow up with that like passion for this and that, and you're like sketching or you're going to special camps or you're doing all those things. We just always had a really strong desire to be business owners in any way. And this kind of like fell into our lap perfectly, and we're like, okay, this is it. This is like divine timing, and this is for us, and we're gonna try it out. And it's been so much fun. It's been almost 6 years.
I'm
I
mind
was
blown.
like dying to get out of the pre-med track at USC when I first got there too. So it was
Yeah.
really divine timing, because it could have been like right when I had just gotten there, and I was so interested and intrigued to just be a doctor. I could have been like, no, I'm busy. I'm going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
But it was like right the week that I was like, I had just gone to drop that major. I was like, let me figure out what else I want to do. Let me try psychology. So I was in the middle of trying things. So it was really just like serendipitous that something just came to us and we were able to work on it together. And it was right before, like, I got on my summer break between freshman and sophomore year. So we had a lot of time to work on the business model, to draft our ideas.
Yeah.
And
We spent a good year to year and 2 months just building the forefront of the brand. We're like, what is the brand? Are we private labeling? Are we cut and sewing? Where's our stuff made? Who's our customer? What are
Price
these shoots? Our
points.
price points? Where do we want to be sold? So we took so long. We went through so many different renditions of brand colors and boxes and different types of, undergarments and like everything you can imagine. So we took a lot of time in the beginning, and thank God, and every time we go back to the forefront of our brand, which is like lingerie for a night in or a night out, and it's also meant to be for the edgy and the elegant. We just tie every single photo shoot and every single collection that we put out to be tied to those principles that we
now
started
that we've
within the first
established
year.
those principles, it took a year to like really figure out who we want to be, what Beverly Hills Lingerie
Lingerie
should
is,
emulate, what it is,
Yeah.
what we want to convey.
But I was going to say, what did you see, like a void in the market? And you're like, oh, we
Yeah.
want like,
Yes,
Exactly.
Actually,
That's exactly what it was. We
both of
saw
us-
the white space.
we did. We saw
in the
white
streetwear
space.
lingerie market.
yeah.
We both went to USC. We saw a huge gap in the streetwear lingerie industry there because we saw a lot of girls styling their innerwear bralettes with like blazers and button downs and
Leather
like
jackets,
leather
jeans.
jackets, like ready to go for a night out. And there weren't that many brands at the time just directly marketing lingerie for a night in or a night out, or like lingerie made to be seen. And we're like, this is such a cool idea. We have to do this. So
Yeah, that
our
And
first-
since then,
yeah.
thankfully, the brands have now kind of
Picked up.
evolved. Yeah,
So
where
it's
we didn't
fun.
have to like invent a new industry
Yeah.
or
The
sell
big-
a new category. Now you'll see these brands like styling lingerie as outerwear and kind of labeling it as like streetwear or like Victoria's Secret. I think their tagline is like made to be seen.
Made to be seen, yeah.
So we're happy that this is like a trend, and we don't have to try to convince people to wear their lingerie out and about.
Yeah.
And just like have like lingerie inspired clothes and
Exactly. I
ready
think
to wear.
The bigger the market the better for us, because just more customers and more eyes on the industry.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, if you show somebody to style anything, as long as they can see it done in front of their
Definitely.
face, they're like, oh, wow, I can do that. That's sexy. I will purchase it.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
And you're like, you can use my piece and style it with your own pieces at home. So I love that. I want to get into the details a little bit more because
course.
you guys make it sound so easy, and I know it's not. You're like, yeah, we just like laid out all these things and started the business, and okay, but
can
in the
get into it.
beginning, you know what I mean? You guys were obviously working backwards. You're like, I have this name. What were the like first steps? Were you like, I needed?
Well, we both had jobs in PR and marketing to really learn. Like I picked up a
Okay.
summer job to really learn everything that goes into selling a brand to people. And that was so helpful. My sister worked in PR and marketing for a while.
Yeah.
And we used all of our tools and resources. But again, from the very beginning, like the baby steps were talking to close friends and families who are entrepreneurs and getting advice and using our community, using our network of founders to just understand what it takes to be an entrepreneur.
I would say we created an amazing family of female entrepreneurs. So these were women
Okay.
that would share all of their like, this was the worst mistake I ever made, to like, this was the best thing I ever did.
No
And
gatekeeping
They were,
there.
no gatekeeping, just vulnerability. They wanted to share all their resources. They wanted to share all their, honestly, failures so that we could learn from them. And it was amazing. And I could say I could think of at least like 10 amazing female entrepreneurs off the top of my head that were there for us within the first year or two that really gave us so much like love and support and advice and like everything that you can imagine that we
Tools,
needed.
resources.
Because we were both very young at the time.
Answers, yeah.
No, that's great. You need that
You
because
need-
I feel like
it's so different than school.
I always say if you don't know an entrepreneur, just listen to podcasts because
Yes.
everyone gives out free information.
Yeah, it's
When I
great.
started Zink, I would just listen to podcasts and they would tell me like what to put my money in the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
you start making money, what do you invest in? Do you guys want to guess what that is? What's the first thing you invest in when you start making money? Let's see if you guys did this.
That's
Like
a
the most
good
important thing for your company.
question. Digital ads, inventory.
In like, I would say the very beginning.
Were you PR?
Everyone said an accountant is like,
Once
you start making money.
that hasn't rung true for us.
Oh, really?
But everyone has said that.
I would listen
Like,
to
you need
podcasts that are
someone
like,
to
you make
manage
money,
it.
you just find like the best accountant, and that's
yeah.
like the most important, like crucial part.
Right,
of,
someone to manage the money you're making.
Yeah.
Maybe we never felt like we needed that. My dad's an accountant.
Exactly.
Oh,
dad's an
okay,
accountant,
yeah.
And so,
So you
was my
guys-
aunt, so we were covered on those bases. But
Yeah.
I can't imagine how important it is to definitely put your money in the right place when you start.
I'm sure we would have
And-
needed to
yes.
if it didn't exist for us already. That's a good point.
Yeah. In the beginning, you're like, well, you learn so much because when you finally file your taxes, you like, you're like,
yeah.
oh, wow, you're taking all of my money. And a lot of people don't know,
Yeah.
writing things off and just like all of like the nitty gritty part of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we didn't have the accountants in our family to tell us like what's written off of as a business expense, what we can use like governmental tools and all, definitely would have needed to hire an accountant for that.
Like you had no idea.
Yeah.
Like
Was
my
that your
first,
first hire?
oh my God,
world,
my
too.
first, and it was not my first, I mean, kind of. I lived in New York City, so I got like
Okay.
a super expensive accountant and it was very transactional, right? Like he didn't really care about me or my business. And I was like so young.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell me I could write anything off. I'm just this like little girl. I'm like,
no.
tax, like, all right,
Yeah,
let's
you
file
probably
this.
gave all of
this
your
year.
money
And then I
away.
ended, he was like, oh yeah, this is what you owe. And I was like, well, that's what I made.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
He's like, with
Yeah.
our fee and then the taxes.
Oh
So
my
I'm like, I'm a little
God.
confused because that's exactly what I made this first year.
Yeah, you couldn't believe it, right?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, lesson learned. I need to do my research. Like, I think it's
And
so
talk to
important to do
people.
your
Yeah.
research.
Exactly.
And not just jump into it and like file your
Exactly.
taxes because it's very different.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
you won't make any money.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, I always look back when I heard that podcast episode, I didn't listen. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'll just get I just didn't do my research. And I was like, funny little story, right?
Yes.
I was like, Mom, I actually need you,
You couldn't
to
believe it. You're
send
like,
me
"Where's
money
my money?"
immediately.
So funny.
so
what
yeah.
was your, what was the hiring process after that for you?
For an accountant?
For anyone to join the team?
Oh, well, I mean, it was just like myself in the beginning, but eventually I waited until I didn't work with investors and I didn't have a loan. So I waited until I had enough money and I was quite literally drowning that I was like, all right, I will part
Awesome.
with some money.
That's unfortunately a good way to do it.
Yeah. I think a lot of entrepreneurs don't talk about this, but when I started making money, it was hard for me to part with money because I was like, wow, money. Like,
Yeah, of course. That was the point.
I was
you're
like,
this-
finally.
It's exactly what I was working
I didn't
toward.
want to
Right.
like give a cut away.
Definitely.
But then when I did, you grow, the more you grow your business, like with people who have your back, the more the
So
business will
important.
grow. Right?
Absolutely.
People who have your back is so important.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So let's talk about growing your business.
Yes,
So
we'd
you
love
have
to.
everything started. Are you only selling through like your retailer? Do you have a store or is that just
no,
online?
we have no brick and mortar. We're online
Okay.
DTC, just BeverlyHillsLingerie.com, and we have like 15 or more online global like drop ship partners. We've been in a few stores. We're in one now, and just trying to like get more, more consumers to learn about Beverly Hills Lingerie, get
Yeah.
their hands on our product. What
Yeah.
else? What else is
What
going
else?
on?
I
now?
would say
Is it just you two? I mean,
just-
I'm.
yeah, it's just
Oh,
us
you
two for
haven't
now.
grown your team yet.
Oh,
Oh,
and sorry, in terms of team, we've had lots of girls, just no one full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that though.
We
Part-time,
love
yeah, it's
that.
great.
There's nothing
Yeah.
more like special or kind of like when it comes to our time management or
I was gonna say-
intimate, personal, like just every day the personal stuff. It's still me and my sister, and there's two of us, so we can really split time there.
Thank
and,
God there's two of us.
and
'Cause you
have
definitely
girls
need
do
to, at
things that
least.
we can't do.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But we work with like, ad managers and people like interns, and we used to have a right hand for the first year that we launched and stuff like that, because you do need more hands on deck to be able to grow. I will say that.
Yeah.
The more hands you have, the better. But if you have too much and you're just delegating all the time, I think it takes too much time and it's not as productive. So it's like you do what you have to do. Don't over delegate, but obviously like hire where there needs to be a fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of places that you should be hiring. Of
Yeah.
I've heard a
course.
good piece of advice before. It was hire for your weaknesses.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
do that. It's more of like independent contracted.
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. And I think if you guys were to find somebody who is just like obsessed with the brand and they're
Yeah.
killing it and they make your life easier and they
That's
believe
what
in
it
the
is.
company
We'd
and the
love it.
vision, you can bring them on. But
Definitely.
it sounds like your business is very special to you. You're not just trying to hire to hire.
Exactly.
Exactly. We were definitely not trying to hire.
Like you're building a family.
Definitely.
And
Exactly.
so
Someone has to bring so much value, feel like, a
Yeah.
third partner to us. And
Exactly. And really just like love the brand, love us, and we have to be able to trust them, because for so many years my sister and I, it was really just like us, and every single ounce of our energy and our time was just put into growing the brand and making it what it is now. So everybody
and every decision is like run by us. Like nothing is
Exactly.
done without our knowing. And I can't
Exactly.
imagine that changing. I mean, it
Yeah.
will one day, I hope, as we grow. I just can't imagine that changing yet right now. Just
but
too
we're
stuck
lucky
on
to
that.
have each other. If we were solo founders, I would say you need a right hand no matter what, just because you want to maximize your exposure when you're working so hard. There's like a million different social media outlets, and then you want to be doing some like print, and then you want to be in stores, and you want to be running trade shows. Like there's so many things that you need to do in clothing. So
Yeah.
it's busy, and you need definitely the right help, the right team.
And you want time for yourself too. I was gonna
Absolutely.
say,
That's the
when did
point
you
of being an
guys
entrepreneur.
start?
Almost 6 years ago.
Oh, you guys have been in it.
Yes, we've been in it.
Oh, and you're still like, I'm in it. I'm not
Yeah,
ready to let
We're
go.
so in it.
We're
We're
so
so
in it.
I've been in it 5 years,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, you guys
Yeah.
just handle all of this stuff.
I know that
See ya.
sounds like code for like control freaks, but I don't see it that way.
No,
I see
it's
that we're
actually, we have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we
Yeah.
love
love
to
just
create.
attached.
Yeah, we love to create. We love to design. We love to run events. We love to do pop-ups. We love to travel. We love doing photo shoots. Like it's all just fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun to be also in a women's industry, like because we are women and we know what it's like to like want to buy something. So it's just it's fun. It's a great time.
Our own target demographic. We're
Yeah.
our own consumers. We're like selling it to ourselves. It's
Yeah.
just fun.
Like we
Yeah,
look at each
wearing
other and
your
we're
own
like,
pieces.
is that a cute color? Like we just
Yeah.
we take our own advice also from each other. So it's fun.
Yeah, no, I think it's so much fun. And
Yeah.
if it's like you guys are doing everything together, and you don't need to, and you outsource for what you need, right?
Exactly, we
It's
do.
not like you're like pitching to, or like, do you guys have like a publicist or PR?
We did
We
for
have.
a while, and then we kind of learned that it wasn't super necessary or that we were getting so much organic press, which was awesome.
Oh,
like,
amazing.
Everything from like Vogue, Forbes, GQ, Entrepreneur, Women's Wear Daily, that's all been organic for us. So we were like, this is great. We can just continue with that and don't need to pay anyone that's not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've definitely
guaranteeing anything.
That's what PR. I mean,
oh, girl, I was
like,
in PR too.
Yeah.
I had a boss. We always overpromised and underdelivered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, trust me, I know PR.
Yeah. No, me too. I know what it's like, and also it's like you want to track your progress and your growth as a brand as well organically. So for us to be able to ship our product out to editors and for them to actually love it, and that we had that feedback, and then we would see the sales coming in from those article posts, that was so organic and authentic to us. Like, it's fun to be able to track that also and know that you're not just paying for those outlets. So
that's great. So did you guys send them to the editor?
We would like have some communication sometimes with editors, sometimes just fully organic, sometimes like it was like relationship based or some sort of communication.
Yeah. Well, because media's changed obviously so much.
That, I feel like less and less people are paying this like $10,000 a month retainer for PR.
Oh yeah, I mean you don't need to, and usually like media, they require like an ad buyout. If you're pitching, they're like, oh well, we can sell you this, like, you know. I just feel like it's so different now that influencers are the way to go.
The like, you know, British Vogue will contact and be like, it's only 15,000 pounds.
Oh, everything is just like it's
for like a tiny little print out.
What?
Oh my gosh,
I know.
I keep asking about just anything editorial, and everyone's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's pay to play. I'm like,
yeah.
I hear that about everything. I'm like, I know the tea.
So
I see somebody get into something, I'm like, I know how much you paid.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? It's not going to lead to sales because media is dead, right?
It's crazy
the way customers shop is dead that way, definitely.
Yeah,
the way customers
but it
shop
is
is
cool
dead.
to see
We're not
in a
QVC.
magazine. I think like as, you know, founders of your company, if you see it in a magazine, you're like, you're geeking out. You're like, this is cool.
Of course.
We go to the magazine shop.
Yeah, no, it makes us feel really good. We're very proud and we feel very happy. And we have like something like physical to show, you know, history.
Yeah, I think that's a major win, even, you know, and it's full circle for you guys being in PR too.
Yes.
You're like, I used to be like pitching, and now we're in this magazine full circle moment.
Exactly.
A lot of full circle moments. And I was going to say about media being dead, I think the internet is so over congested as a whole.
Oh,
like
I know,
the second you opened Instagram or TikTok or any social media platform, you were bombarded by like every single brand you've ever seen in your life, like a million influencers, a million bloggers, a million TikTok stars. Like there used to be so few, and there used to be such a smaller such a smaller industry for like
social media.
And now I think the internet is just overdone. Like it's just, you're just bombarded. You're consuming so much information. So when we go back and we're trying to like tracking our ads and tracking our press and stuff like that, like if any eyes go down on any sort of thing, but we know the creative is amazing, we know it's because the internet is just like overdone right now. It's just so congested.
Maybe it's just not getting reached.
And I think the reach, the more people that there are, like it's harder to get the reach, honestly. So
I agree.
You think that the more people, the more eyes, but the more people, the more media, the more everything, the more brands, the more influencers, the more bloggers. So
well, people just are. I mean, I'm assuming you guys have been seeing the whole influencer fatigue, de-influence.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really. It's like how I make a living, but I'm like keep purchasing. But I do agree because I think people are seeing influencers posting everything now.
Yes.
I can like vouch because my clients really are like particular about the brands that they work with. They have to love the brand, and people don't know that.
I like that.
Yeah, people think influencers are just taking everything. I'm like, no, they actually turn down a lot.
Yeah, wow.
You know, I had influencers turn down, like, you know, if they don't like believe in what a brand is doing politically. Like, my creators will not work with Starbucks.
That's awesome.
$40,000, they've turned it down. Yeah, they like. So
That's
it
very
is
strong.
cool to, so it is really cool. And people who aren't in the industry don't see that. But I do feel like people are like, I don't know, they don't want to purchase things like they used to. I do
agree.
feel what I've been drawn to lately, I don't know about you guys, is like people's Amazon storefronts.
Oh yeah, that's
For my
fun.
home,
No,
I'm like,
that's
I
fun.
need
haven't
all
yet.
of this.
Show with you.
But then I also see all these homes are like identical copy and paste. I'm like, this is why, because everyone's just buying the same
I
things.
know.
Yeah,
and then when
I've
you
seen
purchase it
I
and you
have
try to
not gone.
style it, it doesn't look the same as theirs. I'm
Agreed.
like, why does mine look cheap? Like, how do you make this look so luxury?
Yeah.
Like it's really like a $10 like Amazon tissue holder, and they
Yeah.
made it look great, and it did not
And
look
just
that
a
way
reel.
for
The
me.
reel's probably
I
just the
agree.
music and the vibes
Yeah.
and then other things in the photos. It probably all tied into just looking like luxury.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So with the market being, just overpopulated with influencers, like it sounds like you guys really want to find a fit that is like your person for the brand.
Definitely.
Like I
So
love
that,
what they're
like,
posting.
Fits organically in their style.
How do you guys find? Do you like review people that come to you, or do you guys
Both.
like find people?
Both. And it's like we'll spend personal time on TikTok and Instagram just like scrolling, and
Every day.
if someone catches our eye that we
Yeah.
like, we'll be like, oh, this girl has cute style. Like it looks like she wears like lingerie inspired clothing, or she'd look really good on her stuff. Let's gift her something.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we'll message right away.
Okay,
Has
I
to
love
definitely
that.
be on brand. I agree.
And are you guys solely gifting, or are you paying for
We've
posts?
only needed to, I would say need to gift, because we've had people like Addison Rae just like post so much from just like asking for products. And,
my God.
Yeah, and like exciting things. I'm like,
That's
you know what? We
amazing.
can just say for the last 6 years,
Yeah.
we've never had to pay anyone to post anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Which is
I know
awesome.
it's very different than your business model. Of course, with your creators who get paid
Yeah.
so much to share and post.
Yeah.
And not to say they don't deserve it. Like influencers are definitely very worthy of payment. Like they
work hard.
definitely work hard. They definitely like grow brands, and brands will see results from their posts. We just haven't needed to do that yet. We feel very
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever.
Very confident
You
with
know,
our brand.
I do see that with the like brands who are like Skims, right?
Yeah,
because
that's true. They
everyone
definitely don't need to pay.
So it's awesome that
is
you guys
amazing.
don't need Kim Kardashian behind your brand to
Yeah.
have this organic content. It speaks to the quality of your pieces, right?
And I'm sure at some point, like when we want these big names and when we think it's the right time for our brand or something is really fitting product wise, we'd definitely think about it, think about the budget and the person, and
Definitely.
and make sure like we'll feel very confident in the decision when it's like tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh,
We're
I was gonna
open-minded
say
for
keep
it,
doing
yeah.
what you're doing, because when you start seeing those prices, you guys are gonna be
can't
like,
believe it, right?
actually, no, it's
I
crazy.
agree. And we're not talking like, sub like whatever, 1,000, couple thousand. We're not like those are just non-conversations, because then we just wouldn't go for that influencer. We're
Yeah.
talking like the big numbers, the big influencers
That are like
where
20,
we'll actually
30,
see a
40.
difference. We'll actually see like
Oh my
whatever,
God.
40,000 sales come from the 40,000
You can't even
payment.
promise that.
I know.
Exactly.
I mean,
There's
this,
so
again, I
many
shouldn't be saying
brands.
this, but
No,
like
no, but I know,
$20,000 is
it's
a lot of money.
It
you
is
know,
reality
It
of,
is.
of this, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees. You don't know how customers are going to shop. There's no prediction. You're not psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I will tell you, we will spend a lot of time looking at an influencer's, like all of their social media, to see what their style is and pick the perfect piece or two pieces to gift them, because a lot of them, they don't communicate well enough to go on our website and for them to go pick their own selects, even if we ask them to. So we just do it all. We're like, we'd love to ship you some product. We'd love your shipping address and your preferred size. And that's all they send us. And we go through and we stock them. And we're like, wow, she loves a black bralette.
Yeah.
We got to get that to
She
her.
wears that a lot in her posts.
Yeah.
Do your
okay, so it's
creators
personalized.
Yes,
So
definitely
personalized. I think that's so important
Which
for
I
anyone
love.
listening
It's
to
almost
this. who
like
has a
shopping
brand.
at a designer
Yes.
store where they like are like they know
Personal
your name
stylist.
and they're reaching out to
Exactly.
you.
Oh, I like that way.
Yeah, I like that. Obviously, you can't do that without. There's only two of you, but I do feel like that's a nice approach to like build
It's
your
so
clientele
important.
and have those like special, like consistent clients.
Definitely.
What about your creators? Do they ask for specific items? Do they have selects from the brands that they work
Yeah,
with?
they generally
Yeah.
will pick selects from like the website,
Right.
but I feel like it's
And
special.
I'm more inclined to like it. I'm sure
It's
when
a little
it comes.
hard though, because I'm like, not me, but my agents are the middleman. So it's hard for you to build a relationship with the creators.
Right.
But I always tell the creators, build your own relationship with the brand. If you love the brand and you want to like consistently work with them, I always say like reach out, like set up like lunch or coffee. It'll go a long way. Because when you do have budget, who are you going to think of? The
creator the person who likes the brand, who's not going to ghost us once the product gets like shipped to their door.
You know what I just thought of? Oh wait, go ahead.
No, I was also going to say, for anyone listening to this with a brand, you will get ghosted by some people who seem so excited to get your product and, you know, tag it and post it and shop it and stuff, but don't let that discourage you, because there's so many other people that will be so excited and love your product and want to share it. So
we know when we're sending a free gift, there's no like contract that they have to share it. Thankfully, like our brands, they'll love and they'll share it, but there have been those times where people just like wanted some free stuff and you know, that was the end of it. There was no conversation of like,
I know it's tough, and you never know.
It doesn't happen too often.
You definitely, you definitely can't tell.
Yeah, sometimes the agents will just be like, "Oh, send a product for review at this address," and you're like, "How do I know if it's going to this?"
It's true, and you actually never know if
you're like, "Whose address is this?"
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. No name attached.
Oh, I know it all. Funny. Yeah. So you guys said that you did events. You do events. Tell me about the events. And I was just thinking in my mind, oh my God, it'd be so cute if you guys, you know, when you have all of your relationships with influencers, if you did like some sort of like, I don't know, like a sleepover. No one would sleep over, but then
on our agenda.
Oh wait, stop! Really?
Hotel room slumber party with like skincare brands involved, or like, you know, an esthetician or something cute.
Yeah,
this has been on our
3 PR girlies in a room. I'm glad I still have it. All right, amazing.
I still have it.
Wow.
Nothing better than a cute little like Dorchester hotel slumber party with fun skincare.
And you can use the images and build the relationships further.
I want to go there. I'm like, if I was an influencer and I got invited to that, I'd love to go.
No, it sounds like
girl
fun.
time is so fun.
Yes, it really is.
We've had a few events that were like female founders, and it was such an awesome group of women. Best energy, best conversations. Did a cute little Q&A. We did one recently in the spring. It was a beautiful breakfast and just like the best of vibes. And we've had like bigger parties that, you know, it's been like kind of thousands of people. We had with like the dating app Locks Club, and then we've had with just like
we did something with New York Fashion Week, which was fun 3 years ago. Wow, time is flying. And then we've done a bunch of like trunk show events, and then we've done events at like the Brightly a few times, Spring Place. We've done a lot of events with. These are like membership clubs we have a strong connection with.
And it's like building community.
Yeah,
that is so LA of you to say.
It is. But
you know what? Community. Like when I hear that, I'm like, oh, so cliche, so cringe. Like, what does that mean?
I'm like, if
and then I'm like, you know what?
Community.
No, it's just that every guest I have on that we're all from LA, obviously, they all say building community. So now I'm like catching on.
I wouldn't have ever used that terminology if that wasn't literally what we're doing with these events.
No, I know.
It's actually funny because like over the past 6 years, like we'll get the same girls like wanting to come to the same like, you know, similar events, and it's just like it really is building community, which is so funny. And it'll be really good because like, you know, people will see the same person posting Beverly Hills Lingerie, like maybe it's like an annual party which we'll do for International Women's Month or like Valentine's Day or something, and it's like repetition is good, brand loyalty is good as like an influencer.
Yep.
So yeah, we've just really found success in doing events. Also because my sister and I just really want to be a part of the brand story, and we're like part of, you know, we're the faces of the brand. We're like, why not throw some fun parties?
And it's also awesome when you're popping up at an event and you're actually selling your product. You will hear people say, does this come in another color? You know, does this have another clasp and stuff like that? So you get that real life feedback, and you're able to like structure some more, you know, collections and product with that feedback in mind. So it's always beneficial. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, it is true, like building your community, because it's more than just social media and marketing. It's word of mouth, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if they're wearing your piece out, it's like, oh, where'd you get that? And then they're obviously going to say amazing things about you guys.
It's guerrilla marketing. When we were, I mean, both of us, I was at USC undergrad, but she had graduated and spent some time as a TA. We just had like guerrilla marketing. It was word of mouth. It was so good to like get the Beverly Hills Lingerie like verbally shared through students and, you know, classmates and all. That was I can't imagine if we weren't able to start with word of mouth. If that makes sense. Like if we had started in the middle of COVID and it was only social media versus guerrilla marketing, which we had the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
We would be handing out flyers before events.
Discount
We'd be
codes
going-
and
yeah.
classes and gift bags for lots of, other events we'll partner
Oh
with.
yeah, we'd sponsor a lot of like fun, well-branded events. We would give like promo codes, discount codes. We've done that for. We'll
Products
do that at
sometimes.
least, I would say, monthly. For
Oh, wow.
a lot of for a
Guerrilla
lot of different
marketing,
events.
shoving
yeah.
it in your face.
Yeah, it sounds like honestly
want
so
you to
much like
forget it.
organic coverage and
Yes.
clients. Like
Exactly.
I mean, does this I think this speaks a lot about you guys. You guys have always believed in yourself. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Since
Just
day
like
one.
excited about the brand, passionate,
Yeah.
excited, really believed in ourselves and the brand. We're like, Beverly Hills Lingerie, let's do it. This sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Like not a doubt
More
in your
people should
mind,
hear
you
it.
like embody the confidence. Like my brand is going to succeed. And
Yes,
be on the top.
definitely like very positive. There are always times which lead to growth. Where you feel disappointed or you have doubt or something and you fix it, and that's how you grow and improve, and experiences like that are super important to founders and the brand. But definitely just like consistently optimistic.
Yes, I
Yeah.
would say.
How about you? as
Well,
a founder?
I feel like that's key. I always look back and like when I started, I just was like, oh, wait, we're doing this. Like, we're going to
Yeah.
risk it all and we're going to do it and we're going to be the top.
Yes.
And then I like look back and I was like, whoa, I feel like having confidence as a business owner is so key.
It's
So many
everything.
people start things and they fail because they never believed in the product
Definitely.
or themselves.
Yeah. They were just
Right.
hoping to get lucky or like trying to burn time.
I've seen a lot
Honestly.
of influencers do lingerie brands, and I saw one launch and it faded away.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Yeah.
I
of
have
course.
seen that a lot, and
Yeah.
I don't ask, but I'm like, hey, what
You
happened?
wonder. My sister and I will DM each other every single thing that we see every single day. Like we're
Yeah.
just on,
We're like pop
we're just-
culture reviewers.
Yeah, we're just on IG. Like if I don't have at least 9 DMs from my sister when we're not together, I know she's not on her phone because
Yeah.
we're just constantly, and we're just like
It's
always
just
talking.
research.
It's always
It's
R&D.
research.
It's always a focus group. It's always R&D. It's so
Yeah.
fun. But we've seen so many brands that we've seen. We're like, wow, what a shoot! This is amazing. Look at this. It must be soaring. And then in a month's time, we're like, where did it go? Like the feed is wiped.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Where is everyone? What's going on? So you really never know.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's easy to get defeated for a lot of the people that don't have good support. I've seen so many solo founders feel defeated because they really don't have somebody else to hold them accountable.
There's no other voice.
There's no other
either
voice,
for
yeah,
help.
to like
for
propel
reason.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So for my
It's a
sister
lot of
and I-
weight
yeah,
on-
it's a lot
on
of
your
weight on
shoulders
you
as a solo.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, even if my sister and I are like have different travel schedules and we're on different time zones, and it's just one of
You're
us. We're
so
like,
alone.
okay, we're fine, but we still have to ask each other even the smallest questions
Yeah.
because we're just so
Agreed.
used to it.
You're like, I don't want to bug you. I know you're
Yeah.
trying to enjoy yourself, but
you like
I
this
don't know
feed
this.
post?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like this photo?
No, I will proofread something 4 times, but I will still not trust my eyes. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Joe, you have to read this. Like,
And there's
I
like a
can't-
1-sentence Instagram caption for the brand. It's funny.
Oh,
That's just where
I'm
we're
the
at.
same way. I
Yeah.
overthink literally everything.
You want the copy to be perfect at
Oh
all
my
times.
goodness.
Because everything you put out, it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your brand. It's a reflection of your growth. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so much.
I'm
You
glad
just
I'm
want
not
it
the
to be
only
good.
one.
Yeah.
like
No,
it's
I
embarrassing.
think that's how you soar.
Yeah, that's how you soar, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like one
Being
notch
specific.
below perfectionist because I think when
I
you
think
go
it's
perfectionist,
meticulous.
it's meticulous.
Yeah.
It's thoughtful. It's
Yeah,
intentional.
thoughtful.
Exactly. Yeah, thoughtful.
But then
It's a
you're
good one.
like, yeah, it looks great. Just post it. Like that's why it makes
Exactly.
You, know,
We
you guys
balance,
are great
we
for each
balance
other.
each other out. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm the same. When I was in PR and I had to draft a press release, I would be like sitting there being
It's a
like,
lot.
does this
Yeah.
sound good? Do I sound educated? Is
Yes.
this like,
Am I
oh my
pushy?
God.
Am I too light? Does
Yeah,
this
and then
sound
I'm like,
easy?
oh, there's the whole work day. Like,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Self-reflection is healthy, I think.
It is definitely.
Yeah, no, that is true. So, we are talking about, starting your business, and you guys have all of these exciting things going on, and all of these businesses that do start, but they aren't getting past that first launch, right?
Yes.
And you're like, oh, well, they haven't posted since 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
What is your advice to, like, anybody starting a brand, lingerie, clothing, it can be quite literally anything,
We have so
with
much
those
advice.
times of uncertainty, or if they're not getting sales, or if they're not seeing an ROI, or if shit is hitting the fan.
Yep.
I just want to hear like your
happens.
advice to someone who's starting their own thing or wants to.
It happens. Not to be discouraging, but
Yeah.
if it's not the life for you, and just because everyone else is doing it these days, like starting a business and trying to sell it online, of like a product, doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It's not. I think that I've been seeing this a lot. Maybe it's like entrepreneurship is like the magnetic attraction, like, or is the
hot
trend.
thing,
It's the hot thing because it's so cool to have your own schedule. And I know we live in a place like LA, like everyone's schedule. I mean, yeah, everyone's schedule is very flexible because everyone like works for themselves, and it's like so appealing and attractive.
People love autonomy.
Yeah, people love the freedom. Like, not to say that I don't love the freedom and flexibility, but it was never the first thing on my mind. I feel like people start with that, and then you start with the idea to be flexible, and they're like, I want to be, you know, an entrepreneur because I like the flexibility. But that passion, I mean, that doesn't translate into passion for a business, if that makes sense.
Said.
Yeah.
That doesn't always translate into success, or like you have the skill set to be an entrepreneur, or that was the life that was made for you.
The freedom comes as a perk later.
Yeah, that's a perk. Also, freedom and flexibility.
I feel like you guys do not have freedom.
That's what I was about to
You're
say.
working
I
so
feel like
much.
that's a myth for like a very successful entrepreneur. You don't have that for a couple of years. And if you are having that, you're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't sound as good as it, I mean, like, yeah, you can take as many travel days as you want technically, but like no one should be treating entrepreneurship like a part-time job. And that shouldn't be the attractive thing.
Yeah.
So first, I would like really come to, as my advice for someone young and experimenting and trying to figure out what they want to do, the advice would be to not get like blinded by like the flexible schedule. Figure out why exactly they want to be an entrepreneur. But it's, okay, entrepreneurship, I feel like, was mainly, and this is not from like, you know, you can take this back to like Shark Tank. You go on as a contestant or a candidate, and you say, this happened in my life, and this is what I created to fix it. It's problem and solution. That's what entrepreneurship always was. It was like, my cat was always hungry, so I, started the automatic feeder thing, and I didn't have to be home to feed my cat. It's like personal stories. Like when we saw girls trying to wear lingerie out, but there wasn't a lingerie brand that was like, you should wear this out. It was like lingerie brands were like, you should wear this in, and like only the confident girls, the brave and bold would be like, I'm gonna take this out to a club tonight. That was our like problem and solution. And that's what I think is like getting a little lost in the trendiness of entrepreneurship. I think that it's like so important to go back to like, why is this improving someone's life? And we'll also see Beverly Hills Lingerie as like almost a service. We'll be like, we're selling a service as well as a product. We're selling an emotional purchase. We're selling something intimate. We're selling the feeling of confidence and sexiness, and we're selling the feeling of
being a divine woman.
Yeah, femininity, and again, yeah, just like confidence and sexiness. So I would really, like, my advice to young entrepreneurs or young people trying to figure out what they want to do is really like answer these kinds of questions before jumping into it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in LA, it's
world.
funny. Like I'm from New York, and people. No
it's
one's
not an
like their own
entrepreneurship
business
hub.
there,
No,
right? It was like
it's
I
very
was the only
different.
one. Everyone works for like a corporation,
Corporate.
large
Definitely.
company, and then I moved to LA, and I'm like, everyone's their own dang business
And
here.
you're like,
is
everyone's
anyone?
texting me to go on a hike at 1 p.m.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
Like, what are they doing?
It is like the craziest thing. But I feel like it's like I love being in a space where everybody has their own thing and they're starting something. But it's
Us
also
too. It's
like
wonderful to be surrounded by these amazing founders.
But it's also, I mean, but then it's just a little too much where it's
we
like
talk about this.
everyone is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird.
I think my sister started with, if you don't have the skill set or the desire or the hustle or the grit to be
Or
an
the
entrepreneur,
answers to any of my questions.
it's totally fine. You will do something else. You'll have a meaningful life. You'll have a great career in something that you're passionate about. But the basis is an entrepreneur, especially for the basis of an entrepreneur, especially for us, and how we learned this was the first like year before we launched, and then the first 2 years of the brand, we really buckled down. We were like going to like every trade show and every event
Guerrilla
and
marketing.
everywhere you could imagine, all weird parts of town, like on weekends and nighttime, and we were doing everything just to learn. And the flexibility in our business really came later, where we were able to like write a brand playbook and trust one of our interns to be able to like knock out a bunch of web copy and stuff like that. But that didn't come in the first few years. And it's just so important for everybody who wants to build their own brand to know, to actually have honestly the time in that place and in that time of their life to be able to grow a business, because it really is your baby. Nobody can grow it the way you can. People can manage it in the way that you ask them to, but nobody can actually grow something in like the most important time for it to be growing, which is the first few years. That's like,
and no one will ever love your brand
the way you do. Yeah.
If someone's making money for someone else, they don't love it like it's their own.
It's so different because you're just hoping to learn
100%,
some skills and then go start something else on your own at one point.
When
So
we were
it's
all
different.
employees, we weren't treating the places we
Companies.
worked as like our own businesses. We were making money for someone else.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, well, I mean, with it's like you want to build a team that believes in the company. But you're right. When I was in PR, oh my God, I was like the devil wears Prada.
Yeah.
Like I literally hated
Copy
that
and
all of those
pasting.
women.
Or
Like
a lot of copy paste.
oh my God, they were old women who lived on the Upper East Side, and I literally wanted that like doll that you would like.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. But no, I was like, this is
probably a
not
little
real
rude.
life.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So yeah, like looking back, I'm like, if their companies failed, I'm like, well, there you go, because you were a bitch. You're
there
crazy.
you have it.
You're crazy and you're toxic.
I agree.
But I completely agree. To your point of like, it is your baby. I can think of all of the exciting milestones that I like geeked out over that happened in my company.
Yeah.
I want to hear some of yours.
Oh, good
Of
question.
like little wins where you're like, I can't believe this just fucking happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a full Forbes interview. We were like, is that us?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that was maybe a year and a half into the launch for the brand, right? It was like
Yeah.
spring 2020.
Yeah, it was
Major.
really,
Yeah.
it was really
That was pinnacle for us.
KTLA, a full interview that's still like running
Yeah, they
monthly
still air
on
it
KTLA.
all the time. Yeah.
That's major.
It's still aired a lot.
what
It's just
else?
fun to share a story like that. Being like the best-selling brand at Fred Siegel on Sunset in the
that
women's
is
section. That was
amazing.
like such a cool statistic that like sticks with
Yeah,
us.
that was really fun.
And when we launched in the first year, like Shopify told us we were in the top 3% of brands that had launched in the same time period. And we're like that, or like websites, and we're like, that's so cool to know and just feels so good. So
Yeah.
happy people are finding our brand and, you know, getting to our website and checking out, and it's so exciting.
It
or
really
seeing
is.
anybody wear the pieces where you're like, oh my God, XYZ is in.
Definitely like
Yes.
Addison Rae, because I was
Yeah.
like on TikTok as like a Gen Z. I was like
Yeah.
21, so
Yeah.
excited. I was like, oh my God, and my sister's
We
like,
couldn't believe
who
it
is
was
that?
her.
I'm like, no, I promise, she's so cool. I watch all her videos.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh wow, I love her. But yeah, that was a really fun
Did you guys
milestone.
accidentally find it? Like
No,
you were,
no, no. We
Yeah, no, I
shipped
was
to her.
scrolling. Yeah, but she
Yeah.
didn't tag it at
Oh,
first.
but she didn't
yeah.
tag it.
I was
yeah.
scrolling.
I mean, yeah,
scrolling,
And I was like, I think that's what we just shipped to her in a box last week.
Yeah.
And I'm like
She's the-
screaming.
she's the
Obviously, I sold
sweetest.
to my parents' house at the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, Dad. And they're like, who?
I think that I would get the most excited
Yeah.
over that,
And
like just
yeah.
seeing, you know, celebrities and influencers
Yes.
and just
Loving
people,
it. Like actually
yeah.
picking it out of their closet,
Wearing it and
choosing to
loving
wear
it.
it, taking a video in it, and
Yeah.
like posting it. I'm like, you
Yeah.
love our brand so much. Thank you so much. Like we made a product that like Addison Rae wanted to wear and post.
Yeah, that is major.
Yeah.
That was major.
was.
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh. And then do you guys ever like, are you guys seeding like celebrity agents and stuff?
Yeah, we do.
Or how does that work?
We-
I'm so out of like the celebrity.
I think it's a totally different
Yeah.
like world because a lot of the celebrities, like a lot of them, for like lingerie rates, their
That's what I was
lingerie
just
rate
about
is
to say.
higher.
Oh.
And then
Or
yeah.
if we gift the product, we may never see it because it's
Exactly.
something like they might not wear out and about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they should, but it might not be something
that they feel
Yeah.
comfortable wearing
you
out
know,
and about.
there's
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
probably easier
So
like
we'll
back
work
in the
more
day.
with stylists
Yes.
who will put it on
Yeah.
a celebrity. That's,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where
okay,
we
working
see,
with
route we
like
go.
Yeah.
making those relationships.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's where we actually see results when a stylist will put it on like, I don't know if you know like Kensington Tillow, like the makeup girl, like a stylist put it on her, which was so cool for us because I've been watching her makeup videos for a while.
Yeah.
But I think that's a way to see your brand on celebrities.
Yeah, I love that. I would get excited every single time. Even
Me
like
too, every
even
single
20
time.
years into like the company, I
Yeah.
would still geek out over
Me
that. You
too,
know, I'm like, oh
100%.
my
Definitely, yeah.
For someone to like what you created is like such it's such a good
everything.
feeling. Yeah.
But you know what else would be cool is like, you know, those like lingerie sex scenes in like your favorite show or movie.
Oh
If
my
you're
God,
like,
yes.
oh my God, this is
Lingerie,
us.
yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
reached out to like the Euphoria stylist,
Yeah.
and I was like, I need your girls to wear Beverly Hills lingerie.
I mean, how cool.
I mean, they stopped
like,
filming.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't even care if they know it's my brand, but
Yeah,
that is my
exactly.
brand.
Just the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed,
that's
agreed.
awesome.
Yeah, it
Well, I want to end this by like, I just want to manifest, right? So next
Love.
5 years, 10 years, what do you guys
I
want to
love
manifest
that,
for
yeah.
yourselves and the brand?
Oh, that
Let's
was
make
so
it happen.
special.
Honestly,
I want to
so
see
much.
Beverly Hills lingerie on so many girls. I want to see it in so many stores globally, on so many global retail platforms. I just want like a lot of eyes on Beverly Hills lingerie, and for it to like become that closet staple and like that go-to for anything sexy. And I know my sister will probably touch upon this, just an expansion of categories.
Definitely, expansion of categories for sure. Also, I want it to be like the first brand someone thinks about when they're going to a lingerie party or when they're a bride or when they're going to a bachelorette. Like, we want to be the first brand that they think of. So 5 to 10 year goal for sure. And then expansion of categories. Like, we want to go into a lot of ready to wear. There's so many cool things you could do with lace and corsets and structure and boning and stuff like that. So we want to rock it. And
then
soon.
any magazine celebrities, do we want to drop names and put it into the universe?
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
Get
That was
specific.
so cute. We would love to see Kylie Jenner and Beverly Hills Lingerie.
We love her.
Hailey Bieber. The It Girls.
Love. Any It Girl. All the It Girls.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I feel like Hailey Bieber. Just something about her. It's like if you see
love
her.
Something about her
Yes.
is like everyone wants that. Everyone
Yeah.
wants to be
Yeah.
anything that she can sell, like
Yeah.
or wear anything that she can sell.
I feel like that every brand
She
gravitates towards her.
Yes,
Agreed.
because she rocks it so effortlessly. So.
Yeah. And she puts
cute.
herself out there in a classy way.
She
She's
does.
so
She
likable.
does, yeah.
She's
You know what I
very
mean?
likable. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, her having a baby. I'm like,
I
know,
know. Go
I know.
fangirls.
I was at a
Yeah.
bachelorette and I was like, I know it's your moment, Denise, but
Sorry,
big
Denise.
news.
Haley's having a baby.
Yeah, I was like,
Hailey
this
Bieber's
is
pregnant,
major.
Denise.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank
Yeah.
you
So
ladies
cute.
for coming
Thank you.
on.
Thanks for having us.
We
You
had
are
such
the
a great
sweetest.
combo.
We had so
Thank
much
you.
fun with you.
And I'm
Thanks
excited
for
to
having us.
see where, the brand goes in the next
Thank
year,
you.
2 years, 5 years.
Aw.
I'll be looking at Kylie's stuff.
Aw.
We put it in the universe.
We'll keep you updated.
Yes.
You'll be the
Yes,
first
thank
one.
you.
And
Thanks
we're
for
excited
having
to
us.
keep up with your growth as well.
Yeah.
Women supporting women.
Always.
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 Really, thanks for having us.
Thank
Of
you.
course. Until next time, y'all.